Hey man, you ready to get deep?
No.
Well, let's begin then. What's cracking, guys? Omar Isuf here. Severin, do we hear anything?
Yes.
So, I said in a previous video, we're Goliath, it's David, we slayed it. We told that vent what's up, we slayed it, David versus Goliath, we're Goliath. And many people would give the biblical reference that David actually in fact slayed Goliath. That is just a metaphorical tale. In reality, the big dog always wins, which is why we're talking about bodybuilding today, talking about reflecting on a journey. In case you didn't know, let's throw up some posing clips here, Severin. I'm down 14 pounds in about 7 weeks, and like any momentous accomplishment, you want to take a step back and reflect upon things. Recently on Iron Culture, the fitness podcast for the iron enthusiasts, myself and Eric Helms, we had Alberto Nunez on to reflect on the lifting journey that they call bodybuilding, but lifting in general, and how it can enhance your overall life. And I'm gonna get a little bit deep here because I think I see a difference between the intent of certain lifters, and that's why some of these deep lessons, we had Brian Whitaker on Iron Culture, who is a bodybuilding champion, one of the most revered guys, fantastic physique, professor of economics, numerous published studies, just a respected figure in the sport. And when he talked about what he took away from lifting and how he applied it to the rest of his life, it really resonated. And I really think that training should help train you for other aspects, enhancing your discipline, cultivating that dedication, trying to give back to a community, so fostering a positive community, something Seth Godin will talk about in tribes, getting a community together and raising other people up, sharing lessons. That's part of the intent or purpose behind this YouTube channel. But I see kind of that split between what I call lifelong lifters and people just in it to get their dick wet, where maybe, you know, and sure, we all start at that point, right, where we're like, oh man, you know, I want to get jacked, I want to get those 100 grails on the beach. But there's those people where the aspects of narcissism and, you know, that inward personal journey where they want that attention, that validation, and it's kind of that perfect concoction of that dopamine drip that comes from Instagram, the Instagramification of the fitness industry, like moths to a flame, where they become attracted for that validation and they're chasing that endless cycle. And don't you know it, in the end, you're still just going to be hollow. But some bros will be like, yeah, fucking bro, and they'll be posing and they're doing those things, and it's all external. And I'm not saying that we're not complex individuals and we have multiple motivations where you might want some of that external validation, being perfectly transparent, but also there's an internal journey. And I think if we ignore that internal aspect, we're missing everything. It's kind of like the tip of the iceberg is, yeah, bro, I'm fucking shredded. And everything underneath it is that are those life lessons that you take away, that internal transformation that takes place, which is why I personally enjoy losing weight. And it sounds kind of crazy, but I like asceticism, the practice of self-discipline. And so denying yourself in this abundance in modern society where we're never hungry, it's good to go hungry a little bit. That's the basic concept of fasting when it comes to different religions, the practice of removal in order to attain a higher sense of enlightenment, and in order to try and give back once again to a community. So it's not just about yourself, it's about those around you. And I think taking a look around, we can all try and contribute more. Again, that's one of the functions of this channel, listening to Alberto, how it shaped him, how bodybuilding essentially in that episode, he said, has shaped him from being a relatively lazy individual, unstructured, so he lacked organization, to someone was like, you know what, man, if I gotta eat, if I gotta train, I gotta start planning things. Well, I wanna educate myself when it comes to lifting, I wanna educate myself overall. This year, and I'll make a video on it when I'm finally complete, I used to love reading books, nonfiction, fiction, Dostoevsky, he's my boy. Brothers Karamazov represent, Tolstoy, War and Peace, and Anna Karenina, not to mention Gogol. We're down with the Russian authors. Back on it this year, and I have found that practice of self-discipline through denial of just constantly eating, being focused on a journey in the gym, has helped me focus when it comes to my concentration, reading, comprehending things that I am reading, trying to contribute to various discussions, that inward reflection, self-reflection, and introspection that yields a more honest look at yourself. So I can directly attribute lifting having a positive impact in my life. And that guy Wes Watson, where I like his channel a bunch, he has a Watson Fit. He served 10 years, I believe it was, in prison. He talks about that journey of how essentially lifting almost saved his life, made him a better person. Now he wants to contribute to society. I can only say the same thing, that overall in this journey, are you just doing it for yourself? Are you trying to become a better person? Are you trying to contribute to society? Or if you're just like, fuck yeah, bro, I look shredded. Sign up to my OnlyFans account or whatever it's called. Going to trips on Dubai. So just think about it a little bit. Think about the whys. The why informs everything else. And the more I've been thinking about lifting, the more rewarding it's been. That is why this year it's been probably my easiest year of lifting. Not in terms of how hard it's been. I've really been applying myself, hitting personal records when it comes to strength, and then also leaning down to a stage I've not been quite as lean as this for years on end. But it's easier because my intention, the why I'm doing it, is more crystal clear than ever before. Anyways, not trying to get super deep here, just sharing some of my own personal reflections with you guys. I've been lifting now for a decade, so it's a long period of time. For some bros, where they're in that 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, you might just, once again, it's that tip of the iceberg where you're discovering things. But don't worry, dig a little deeper and you might just find yourself some treasure. I gotta get out of here. Goliath slayed David. That's just the way it worked. That's a historical fact. Never mind the stories you hear, allegorical or metaphorical. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed the video, if you thought to yourself, make sure to like the damn video. And I'll see all you guys, my rascals, in that next one. Peace.
Eat your vegetables, eat your vegetables, eat your fucking vegetables.